Hi, I'm Janet Beth, and I work in the Writing Center here at Nightingale. And today I want to teach you how to write backwards. But not like that. I'm not talking about writing, flipping your letters, but instead thinking the process of writing maybe in a different way than you've thought about it before. The writing process, especially on uh, Hallmark projects and capstone proposals, is a really long and complicated process. And sometimes, if we think about it from start to finish, it can be overwhelming and we don't know where to start or what to focus on in what steps. So, in general, when you sit down and write an assignment, you might think, okay, well, first I need to pick a topic, and then after I pick my topic, I'll decide where I want to go to research. And then after I decide what kind of research I have, I'll be able to do this. And then after I do my rough draft, then I'll do blah, blah, blah. And so we can put off those end tasks for later. But I want to suggest that with such a long process, it might help us to think about it in reverse by focusing with the end in mind and planning back. So I'm going to talk about 3 ways we might do that with backwards scheduling, with pre-writing checklists, and backwards outline. Let's talk about. So with backwards planning, maybe we have this opportunity to, where can I go? Maybe we have this opportunity to think about, okay, I know when my deadline will be. So can I break up this assignment into a few different parts and think about the deadlines for each of those as a stopping point, as a milestone that I have to get to. So in order to finish by my own deadline and get the highest grade possible, I want to get feedback from the writing center. Well, okay, so I want to have 2 days to make changes and work on the suggestions that I get from the writing center or my friend or my supervisor at work who reads my papers and gives me ideas, whoever. So I want to have 2 days to look at it and make suggestions. Okay. Well, it will take them some time to read the assignment. So I need to give them 2 days, 3 days in order to get me my feedback. Okay, so in thinking backwards, it'll take me a couple of days to think about my topic after I do the research. So in order to do my first draft, I need that kind of. So if we think about it in those ways, we can set our milestones for us, for ourselves in a specific way so we know when we're running behind or how much longer we have to do these things. By scheduling it this way, this can also help you visualize where you have overlap between classes. A lot of classes have Hallmark projects all due in week 14 here at Nightingale. So figuring out where you can put things can be a good process in order to keep you in track so that you are not trying to do all of the work this weekend. So that's one thing with scheduling backwards. Another idea that I want to talk to you about is checklists for pre-writing. Now, if we think about checklists, a lot of times we go over our checklist at the end to make sure, yeah, okay, did that, did that, did that, did that. And maybe our checklist for this is from the rubric or from the assignment. I want to suggest that we can do this in pre-writing. So look at the assignment and make it into checklistable items, things that you know are going to be important for your work or for the grade that you are going to do. Decide before you write when you are going to focus on each of those things. So if I'm thinking about that by my calendar, Okay, my APA formatting, I'm gonna do that all here at the end. I don't want to deal with it while I'm trying to write, so I'm going to do all of my APA at the end. Maybe it's different for you. Maybe you have a different opinion about when to focus, but decide before you write when you're going to focus on each item. I have color coded mine to make them clear for me to think about at what stage. Then, when you're at that stage, are you in the rough draft? Are you in the research? Are you working on adding sources to your paragraph? That's when you focus on that step. If you're not focusing on something in that stage, if you haven't decided that's what you should focus on then, skip it for now. Focus on the things that you decided pre-writing were important at that stage. So these are examples that I have here. They might be different for you, deciding based on your assignment, based on what rubric you have, thinking about what's important there. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about is reverse outlining as a stage. So outlining is often taught as the first step of the writing process. Okay, you pick your topic and then you outline. Maybe you had a template for your assignment, and so you start there with that document open and trying to fit things in to those different sections. That may work for you. It works for a lot of writers, but maybe it doesn't work for you and you get stuck and it takes you so long in that process because you're trying to think about the whole thing and you can't figure out how this one piece is going to fit into that bigger process. So if that part of outlining takes you a really long time, I am here to give you permission to skip it for now and start with the draft. Reverse outline is a process where you write your draft, you write it as it comes, what you think about, you just get going and get words and research on paper, and then when you have enough writing or when you think you're done, then you look for your patterns. You review your work and you start to move ideas to different places to try and organize it to find the main points. This can be a process you do in revision. I encourage you to make the outline, put the main ideas and the supporting points with them to see if they are organized. But you don't have to do it first. I'll give some tips for how to do this in a way that will keep you from getting lost when you're doing your reverse outlines. Some things to think about. So as you're looking at your work, identify that main topic of each paragraph and how that topic is different from the others. This is a really important point, right? We want to think about, do the supporting points within the paragraph go really well with that topic, or would they go well with another paragraph? Do some paragraphs seem to repeat the same information or same idea? Could this supporting point go here or here or here? Decide why you put it in one place versus another. It will help you if you understand what those main topics are. As you're thinking about that and the order you have them in, do you know why you put them in that order? What would change about the paper or your argument if you moved the paragraphs around? Would that help them flow more logically? Would it help you explain the relationship between those ideas better? If you were a reader of your own paper, would you always know what the main argument is? Where might you get lost? Maybe that's a place to add more supporting points or to make the topics clearer. Does that thesis have fully covered the ideas that you've written about? Is it clear what you want to say throughout the paper? All of these are important points to think about, and this is a basic overview, but I want you to know that the Writing Center is here to help you. We can look at written submissions. You can come work with us on outlines or reverse outlining, making a plan for your writing. We would love to help.